Yay! The stars are aligning. It's only 4 minutes after and I figured it out. Oh, I should have waited to say that. That's on the recording now. Anyway, well, it's Monday. Does anyone else feel like it's Monday? I'm not alone, am I? Good. Thank you for saying that. Welcome to our December Whole Person Care Collaborative meeting. And there's not going to be a whole lot of business, but we do have some reflections and that we are going to look at over 2021. I have a few questions and then a little fun stuff towards the end. So if you will go ahead and type your name and organization into the chat box, that would be great. I'll pull that up myself. So I'm going to ask, I'm not going to do it at the moment, just giving you guys a heads up. I would like to do a quote unquote group picture in a little while. So if you're not on camera, I would ask that you come on camera. I'll let you know when, but we'll say in another 5-10 minutes to give you a little heads up. It's going to be a Brady Bunch group photo since it's our last collaborative meeting. Let's get started. I was having issues with my Word, so I don't have a couple things I was not able to put into the slide deck, but the agenda today is fairly light. I do have some announcements, and then we have some reflection questions we're going to go through, and then I have a fun little farewell since this is our last WPCC meeting. Put together something for you guys, and then I said adjourn at 12:45, but if we wrap up sooner than that, that's okay too. Minutes, my Word kept freezing on me, so I could not get it copy and pasted into it, but I will get those shared to the website as soon as I can get that done. Thank you for everyone who was able to get their report in last week. I think I've got most. There are a few that I am missing. There is one last report that's due January 5th for December activities. Just so you know, that's coming up. And we have our last population health plan on December 14th. It's a learning session from 12 to 4. It's a pretty exciting agenda that has been prepared. We have some awards that we're going to be giving out. Thank you for all those who voted. So we're pretty excited about that as well. And then the last thing is QI Affinity. We do not have a QI Affinity call this month, and we have talked about it amongst the consultants and I about this QI Affinity, and so I have a couple questions. It's been mixed participation. Individuals came for different reasons. So if you came to these meetings, can you just either unmute or throw in chat the value of the QI Affinity group meeting to you? Everyone came for different reasons. There's different values. And if you didn't go to the QI Affinity, it's totally fine. It was an optional meeting. Don't feel like you have to respond. But we're assessing this this meeting and its continuation into 2022. So if you can put into Slack, for those of you who did participate, why the reason you were coming to those meetings, if you came, or the value you got out of those meetings, and I'll give it a couple minute or two. Excellent place to ask specific questions and get into nitty-gritty details. Thank you, Dawn. Learn creative solutions based on others' ideas and project implementation. So I would ask, the next question I'm going to ask is, would you like these affinity groups to continue, and on what cadence would you prefer? Recognizing it is an optional meeting, so even if we said it's monthly, it's not like you have to go every month, or I mean, you're not able to go, but for those of you who really participated regularly, what's the best cadence for you? while they are typing, there's always that awkward silence. So I feel like I have to fill it with me rambling. So forgive me if I ramble. I'm in that kind of mood today. Can you guys tell? Just kind of like, I don't know, honoring. I don't know. It's Monday. You're seeing the real me, I guess you can say. Every other month, Tom. Thank you. Monthly's fine. Continue bi-monthly. Maybe not during the 12 to 1 hour. That time's a little bit difficult to make. Every other month or quarterly. Okay. Those are great. Thank you. That's going to help us as we continue our conversations with Kathy, Connie, Tina, and Roger. 12 to 1 hour is tough, especially following back-to-back morning meetings. You know, it's funny that you guys say that because we were always told to do 12 to 1 because of the clinic hours. So it was easier to do lunch. So if it's not 12, if that has changed, I'm totally fine with doing it at a different hour. We just did it because that's what we told you guys wanted, or guys previous to you. So good to know. Maybe we'll send out a doodle poll or something. Okay, let's move on. If you haven't heard, Senator Parlett, our executive director, is retiring at the end of the year, and John Chapman will be our acting director come January 1st. And I think that we've talked about this before, but I wasn't sure, and don't want anyone to be surprised. We've put it out there a lot, but just wanted to put it one last time. And Linda will say a few words in a little while. I have a space for her. So I just wanted to announce that. This is our last WPCC meeting as a collaborative, but as an organization, as staff, we have looked at all the meetings. So if you look at this is the calendar of all of our meetings, and these are just regular meetings. This isn't, these are ACH meetings. These aren't all the WPCC meetings because we had the second Tuesday of every month and the third Wednesday of every month. That's not even on this calendar. And so for those of you who attended all those, plus the TCDI or an opioid or care coordination or a CHI meeting, like this, these are all the meetings the ACH went to. We are exhausted from going to meetings. We feel like we are now professional meeting goers or throwers. And you must be exhausted too. So the ACH is moving to this type of schedule. Don't mark this date. This is just an idea of what we're doing. We're going to do one standing meeting a month. So no longer, we don't have the work groups anymore. So we're going to do one standing meeting every month. And with that, we are going to have one meeting once a quarter for partner presentations. I know that was something that's very valuable to you guys, and we've heard that from TCDI and others that hearing from your partners is a valuable experience. And so it's not something someone's going to be made to do. Well, I guess if you're going to receive funding, then we'll ask you to present on what you were funded for, to kind of present the successes. One thing that we as an organization recognize that we give funding, or when funding is requested, you have a certain idea. And a lot of times as a grantee, you think, I have to do it like I told them I would do it. As an ACH, we recognize that not everything pans out the way we thought it would, hence our PDSA process. And so we recognize there's challenges that come up that you have to pivot and go a different direction from what you originally proposed. And so those are some of the things that as a presentation, we're going to ask that you start to, what are some of the successes and challenges and what worked and didn't work, like really showing and helping others if they were to implement that. We know that everything's not unicorns and roses, all that we would like them to be. It's not that way. And if someone else wanted to duplicate what you're doing, understanding the obstacles and barriers that you experience is always a great learning experience and helpful for others. So more to come on that. Our first meeting, we will let you know when that will be, but we'll be talking a little bit more about 2022 and what to expect from the ACH as we are ironing that out. We'll also by then have the applications for funding and all that prepared. So there'll be a lot of information packed in that meeting. So we will, as a staff, try to figure when that meeting will be in January so we can get that information to you ASAP, because I know schedules are filling up. Any questions, comments? All right. Oh, that was the example. Sorry, I forgot I had an animation. That would be like a partner meeting once a month for partner sharing. So, any announcements or updates from you guys? Anything you would like to share? Okay. I know it's that awkward silence, but people are like, is someone else gonna unmute? I'll unmute. Gotta find my mute button. Okay, reflections. Get your keyboard out. I have some questions for you. I would like you to think about and answer for me. And we've done this, I think, every December, and so I wanted to continue that. So as you look back on 2021, what part of the improvement work are you most proud of? Or what part of the year? I mean, this not just the WPCC. I see we have MCOs on there. I see we have consultants on there. I see we have, I think I saw Deb on there. I'm sorry, I don't have my participant list and I don't see everyone right now. So what part of 2021 are you most proud of? Learning a process to track data. That's a good one. Adaptability, absolutely. Working to line up 100+ measures we are accountable to all, or the governing bodies, contracts, etc. Adaptation to telehealth services. Trying some new things, succeeding with some, failing with others, but learning with each. I like that, Steve. Stephen, sorry. Paul, I like that. Proudest of how the changes we started in the dark days of 2020 have become the ways of doing business. That's good. Able to continue to work on improvement during COVID. Implementing the COCM program. Completing the AIMS group. Learning from one another about what is working and what we can improve upon. Creating integrated behavioral health. And I'm going to go back and I will read all of these and I may share these with our board as we do a deep dive. I think we're doing a deep dive in March, kind of a wrap up of all the WPCC and all of our signals of improvement and success stories we've experienced. All right, the next one. What is an area of improvement you want to continue? Continue to focus on. Access, diabetic measures, behavioral health, data collection. Misty, I'm glad you said that. We want MCOs to work on data collection. How to build a quality program to serve patients well. Behavioral health and follow-up. Staff tracking A1C again. Recognizing depression and addressing more effectively. Depression screening, PHQ-9 follow-up. I realize I set myself up to ramble because I ask you questions in chat, so you're not talking, and then I don't like the dead space, so I ramble. Sorry. Depression screening and A1C screening. Continued quality achievement in spite of COVID's ebb and flow. Don't know if you heard Fauci's talk on CNN that even though it's contagious, they're thinking that Omicron isn't as severe. So we can hopefully breathe a sigh of relief that it won't be too bad. Improvement has been contagious and want to continue. We're looking to attract more folks into specific quality improvement projects. Continued depression screening and follow-ups via collective medical for mental health. Great. Looks like the chat is slowing down. If you have something, feel free to continue to drop it in, but we'll move on to the next question. And what is one thing your organization needs help with? Or you or your organization? Coordination for 988 implementation. Oh, definitely. Recruitment. Diabetes screening for mental health with no med provider. Yeah, recruitment and retention. MCO healthcare theory ask and training programs for health practitioners at all levels. Effective staffing models given new realities of workforce. Depression remission measures. Better platform for telehealth. Collaboration with health system partners, building strong clinical community linkages. How to continue improvement during turnovers. That's a good one, Deb. I think most of you have experienced that. All right. We all need help, but let's ask, what can you offer? What needs can you help with? I didn't write that right. What needs can you help with? Technical support to help people such as myself to make sense of what we're seeing so we can alter what we're doing. Yeah. What needs can you help with? Doesn't even have to be something someone's mentioned, but something that's a success that you found that you've implemented within your own organization and you feel like you could help someone else. And this is, not necessarily we're going to call you out, but maybe call you out like to come do a presentation. But as we are talking to partners, we hear often individuals working or working on something and may need help and asking us, who do we know that has such a program? And we know a lot just because we talk to most of you often, but it's also good to do this. Advancing health equity, comic relief. Yeah. Oh, Paul, you provide that for me. If anyone else needs comic relief, I'll link you to Paul. He does it verbally and via email. And sometimes those emails come just at the right time. I need that chuckle. Anyone else? Anything that's successes you feel like you've achieved that you feel like you could help others? Doesn't mean that you have to be like this grand success craziness, right? Like this huge thing that you can say, we've experienced, it's been exciting with the way we're doing our PHQ-9 screening. Sharing ideas, collaborating on improvement efforts. Yeah, if you ever want to talk population health management, Steven has a really good brain for that. I can totally geek out having a conversation with him. Writing reports incredible. Loretta, that'll be a good one for Okanagan because they're switching to Credible. Medical equipment tracking and sterilization process. For those of you taking notes who may need that. I've delayed enough. Feel free if you, yes, Nicole, you Renew, which was formerly Grant County Grant Integrated Services, for those of you who don't know, and the center are both on Credible, and Okanagan Behavioral Health is moving to that. All right. I think that was it. And we will start the farewell. This is just something I kind of put together. I will admit I kind of had this emotional experience. One, switching from WPCC to something new is extremely exciting because we can really build on the improvement work and really drive change more focused and more strategically. So that's very exciting to me. But for me, I've been doing this since I started in August of 2018, and my first meeting was September. And I thought that Peter Morgan, my predecessor, was going to be here for a while. And after the September meeting, within a week, he says, "Oh no, you're doing the October meeting. I'm on vacation." And I was like, "Wait, what? You're supposed to be there to hold my hand." So he kind of just threw me to the wolves, aka you. And we've been on this roller coaster ever since. And so it's been a roller coaster, but it's been a really good one. It's been really exciting for me. So it's kind of an emotional one too, because we've been doing this every Monday for how many years? So I'm going to, Linda, I'll kick it off with you. Let's see, I think I saw her on. There she is. I'll turn it over to you if you'd like to say a few words.
Sure, and you've still, so are you going to take that screen off, or let's see. All right. Okay, well, Wendy, you're absolutely right. We've been doing this for a long time, and to be exact, it was my very first day on the board, and that was in July of 2015. The reason I remember this so clearly is because the legislature took a recess over the 4th of July weekend, and then we had to go back to finish the budget. And then the second Monday of July was my first board meeting. And that is also when a decision was made on what we would do for the SIM project. And SIM stood for the State Innovation Model Grant. That was a grant to start out with. For those of you who are new, Peter Morgan was on our board at the time. He was a former group health executive who retired in Twist, and he had tried whole person care at group health and said it didn't work. And I don't know the details, if they didn't have enough time or not buy-in. I don't know any of the details, but he really wanted to do some sort of a whole person care collaborative. I thought that was a great idea because, still being in the legislature, I was very well aware of Senate Bill 6312 that passed in 2014 that said all Medicaid contracts will be fully integrated by 2020. So, not knowing if the waiver was going to be accepted or not at that time, I just said, since we don't know that, it makes sense to do the whole person care collaborative, because no matter what, integration is going to happen. And then, so we got a jump start on that, and fast forward, as some of you know, one of the required projects in the toolkit was that we do bidirectional care. So we already had sort of set up the process, and many ACHs copied what we had started. So thanks to all of you, those who were there at the beginning. I mean, I remember visiting Cooley Medical Center. Shoshana, you remember this, you had delivered a baby and then you came back, and the first two meetings, it was like deer in the headlights. And then all of a sudden, snap, Cooley Medical Center is a leader in some of this. So all of you, just So I just want to thank all of you, but I also want to let you know that I'm very well aware, and I will say this today at the board meeting, that the state, the project, Medicaid Transformation Project, the whole funding model was called, had to do with system reform. But if you're going to do system reform, you really need to do payment reform. And I think the state has not followed through on that. And I am maybe done as executive director, but I am not going to be done connecting with those at the legislative level who make decisions on pressing on that, because we have spent 5 years, and hopefully there'll be an extension year because of COVID, and we have a long ways to go. And the motivation is there, and I think we got to get the state to get caught up and focus on that. So those are my parting words. And I would say, don't give up, but keep pressing and asking the right questions. And I know we have some MCOs on the call, and you know, all the contracts have to be set up so the incentives are right to get where we want to go. And healthcare authorities in charge of those contracts. That's all I want to say. Thank you for the honor of serving and working with all of you. I have learned such new terminology like empanelment, quality improvement. I just wrote down a couple of words today that you guys talked about, and I don't know what they are. So it's exciting for me to know that even though we've been through COVID, you've turned it into, you've looked for the silver lining to see what we have been able to learn from that and come out ahead. So thanks to all of you.
Thank you, Linda. We've appreciated you at the helm, and you have been amazing at connecting us to the legislature, to the state folks, and that's really helped. I know that's one thing that the collaborative has said, to continue to be that liaison to the state. So I'm glad that you're going to continue helping us with that. I'm sorry, I'm talking while I'm trying to share my screen, and I should know better than that. Are you seeing the right screen again? Okay, because I have a video for you. Oh, it went away. Why? I'm not sure what happened.
We got to see that good looking family though for a moment.
Oh boy, my PowerPoint stopped. What in the world? Okay. For those of you who are not on the beginning, you will, oh, the VPN dropped. Let me try this again. I have had some internet issues. I'm not sure what's going on, or I don't know if it's the VPN that keeps dropping me. Let's try this.
Wendy, if you need to, I can see if I can get on and access it.
Yeah, I may need you to. I thought I had shared it somewhere else. I don't know if it's my internet or if it's the VPN, but I keep having, now the share drive is like not responding. Why don't I turn it to Roger and Kathy? Because I had Connie and Tina, and then I had you and Roger. If you guys want to say a few words, and then I will bring that back up.
Sure, this is Kathy. I'll jump in.
Thank you.
What fun to see all of your faces, and it's been a good opportunity to reflect on the last 4 years. So first I want to say how inspired I am by all of you. I remember meeting you with different kinds of strategies in place around quality improvement and wondering what in the world we were going to be doing with this project. But boy, I had no idea looking forward the resilience you would show, especially through this amazing last couple of years, truly amazing. That is my last trip was to see all of you in WPCC in February of 2020, and I haven't been on a plane since, so that tells you a lot. I hope that that you have gained some skills. I know you have, because I've watched you all grow, which has really been incredible. And I hope that the skills that you have and the new partnerships that you formed through WPCC will continue to propel you forward so that you can be successful both as an organization and also successfully help the people that you serve. And finally, just like Linda said, I'm grateful that you welcomed me into this work. I always learn from the teams that I work with, and this is absolutely a wonderful time to have met all of you, watched you learn, watched you grow from, I'm going to say, deer in the headlights to really savvy quality improvers. So I really wanted to say thank you. And it's been a privilege, and best wishes. We'll be in the background with Wendy, so if you need anything, she'll find us.
Yeah, and this is Roger. To build on Kathy's comments, the amount of work you've done through this really challenging period has been extraordinary. From the early days where we were talking about the integration of behavioral health and primary care into behavioral health, and the spirit of new partnerships that you created through this, the collaboration that you shared with each other, the shared learning. I hope whatever happens in the future, irrespective of funding from the state or the federal government, you find ways to not evolve in silos, but really leverage the learning across the environment. I think that's been one of the most powerful aspects of all of this collaboration, is the tools and the techniques and the approaches you shared with each other through a little bit of coaching, but mainly your hard work testing new things and putting them in place in the field. So we wish you the best of luck. And as you said, we'll be on the sidelines looking for ways to see how we can help you in your journey and continue to accelerate the work.
Thank you. And I'm not going to have a meltdown. I'm not going to have a meltdown. The PowerPoint that I had been working on finalizing all morning, I'm not sure if it's saved. Oh wait, I found it.
I was going to say Tilly was going to make a guest appearance, but she has been doing some speed dating online, so wasn't able to make it due to some new connections she's made. So for those of you that remember Tilly in one of our learning sessions, we're going to make a comment in the chat.
I remember that pink bathrobe. That's what I remember.
That's right. That's right. I'm trying, slowly trying. It will make me sad because I have, let's see if this will work. I'm going to keep it out of presentation mode just to keep it, see if I can keep it going. So let me share screen, share sound, screen 2. Okay, can you guys see it?
Hi, WPCC, it's Connie Davis, and I'm sorry I can't be with you today. It will be no surprise to many of you that my conflict is that I'm teaching motivational interviewing to a group of case managers. And so I just wanted to take this time to thank you for allowing me to be along with you on your journey. And what a journey it's been since our very first site visits. For those of you who are around in October of 2017, Peter Morgan contacted CCMI, and we brought in CSI back in early 2017 when the planning began for WPCC with the new funding coming from the state. So I've been with you since the beginning, and really, like I said, I'm honored and privileged to have been with you and experienced so many things with you, to learn from you and learn along with you, and hopefully share some valuable things with you. I hope that the passion that you have for improving care for the people in the region that you live continues to grow. And I hope I continue to have interactions with you in the future. We're hoping to continue to do some skill building and the quality improvement activities, the system redesign. There's lots of folks out there who love to support people who are on this journey. So enjoyed working with every one of you that I've met. And I know it's not the end, but well, it's the end of one phase, but not the end of all of it together. So thank you again, and take care. Best wishes.
All right. I know she froze up, but her voice didn't, so I kept it going. So we'll see if we can get it to the next slide. Our last meeting couldn't just run smoothly, could it? Anyone have a joke they want to share? Tell. Ron, would you like to say a few words to the collaborative while we're waiting for my screen to stop, to start responding?
Did she say John?
I did.
You're breaking up a little, Wendy. I'd just say I'm really impressed in what everyone has done and how they've pieced things together. Even through the different projects that we have worked, either opioid TCI or WPCC, even though we were all slightly project specific, you all seem to manage to figure out in your own ways how to de-silo that work and bring it together and really harmonize it within your own organizations. So I've been really impressed in that. And I am just really impressed by the spirit everyone has in our region to make change. I mean, we've had a lot of different things happen over the 5 years, from integration to COVID to everything else out there, changes in the state payment system, and people are willing to step forward and make those changes. And you're willing to do it without any asks or any major compensation, but you know it's for the betterment of your patients. And so it's great to see how this has evolved, and I feel lucky that I get to be the acting ED next year to see us continue to build this out in the future. And you can all reach out to me anytime. But I may be disjointed for maybe a month or two, so give me some grace. Wendy, did we lose you?
Am I here?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. I had to restart PowerPoint. I'm sure no one is surprised. Let me see if I can do this. Okay. And share screen one more time. Open on to. You guys see Tina? Okay.
Hi, WPCC members. I'm experiencing some interesting sun issues. I haven't seen the sun in so long, so it's a bit weird, but anyways, I'm not going to edit that out. I had a conflict today, so I couldn't join you, and Wendy had suggested that if I wanted to share some words, I could send a video along, and I do want to share some words, so here we are. And I think what I'd like to share specifically is just a message of thank you, specifically for letting us be alongside you throughout this journey, sharing your quality plans, sharing your tests of change, sharing all the many homework assignments that were connected to the various learning activities, sharing your improvement data, your willingness to learn and to apply and to trust new models. And it was just really great to be there to support you and to learn ourselves. So thank you. And it has not been an easy year. There's been especially unique, how do we say this? I mean, how many ways have we said it? Challenges related to the pandemic that have been extensive in terms of all of the facets that it has affected, the duration of the pandemic, and intensity. So I applaud everyone for seeing it through and continuing to hold on to the space to share and learn together, and to really keep driving changes that improve care and outcomes for your populations. I've seen so much passion and creativity specifically to improve the care and the outcomes for the populations you serve. So it's been a real treat for us, I think. As we move forward, I'm looking forward to the learning session I'll see some of you at on December 14th. We're going to have a really fun time, and we're going to take a look at the measurable improvements, because there are many. We are going to share, we're going to recognize all of the hard work, and hopefully it'll be a really fun time and lots will be learned. As we move into the new year, we'll probably stay connected in some way with some quality improvement, capacity building activities. So I'm really excited about that, and continuing to work with this community and see what's possible as you continue to drive change and improvement in population health management and other topics that benefit your providers and your patients. So thank you. I think that's all the messages for now. I'm sure I could say more, but you probably need to get on with your meeting. So I wish you a wonderful meeting today and look forward to our paths crossing again in the future. Take care. Bye. Hi.
Thank you. Let's see, I'm going to try to share put it in presentation mode. Is that in presentation mode? Right one? Okay. All right, so now it's my turn, and I have a few slides I'll share with you. Before we do that, can we take a group picture before I forget again? So if you don't have John, will you help me with that? Will you do the snippet tool? If you don't have your video on, if you'll turn your video on, so we can do a great Brady Batch picture. All right. I'm going to do two. So here's the first one, because I have two screens and I don't know which, if you're on screen or screen one or screen two. There's so many. So we'll do two. So here's the first one on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let me snip that out and save it. I'll share this with you because I just think this is just so fun. I lost my snippet tool. Why am I not surprised? Nothing happened. Nothing's going to go well for me today. It's just going to be what it is going to be. Yeah. It's gone. Hey, John, are you there?
Yeah.
Can you use the snippet tool?
I can try.
It's like not showing up on my screen at all. Like it was there and then it's gone.
I'm going to try something else. So you guys are all going to be stuck smiling a couple times, but just be excited, because that means you get multiple shots, and likelihood the one you don't like is the one I will use. But you gotta give me some grace periods to get set. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, I'm gonna try this again to see if I can get everyone. Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, funny face. Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, we got a few people who tried that out. I have to do one more anyways. I'm just making this up as we go on. Funny face again. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, I got 4 shots. I make no promise what I got, or if you're on there, but I think I got everyone on there. If you're not, we'll do one of those, you know how you like just Photoshop someone in to your family photo or that? We'll we'll see how we do that in a Zoom screen.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, let me see if I can share. Am I sharing my screen again? Yeah, I probably wasn't. No, watch your eyes. I'm gonna go back to where I need to be. I'm not even on the right file. What happened to my file? All right, here we go. So first of all, thank you all. Let me pull your back down to my screen so I can see you as I'm talking to you. Thank you all for this wonderful journey that we've had. It has, like I said at the beginning, it's been a roller coaster, but it's been a really fun roller coaster, one that I would totally get back on again with you guys. You've made it very special, enjoyable. We've had our ups and downs, but we've had way more ups than downs, and the progress that has been made has been tremendous. Not only in the work, but also in attitudes towards improvement. It was hard at first, and when you're asked to do something completely different that you've never done before, it's becoming a second language to most of you guys where it wasn't at first, and you're recognizing that. And that, for me, when you sit back and you look at it, is extremely exciting and incredibly fun to work with. So at first when we started, it was like, you want me to do what and how? And now it's like, oh yeah, we can do that. We'll figure it out. And so just that different change in attitude, like throw me COVID, throw me vaccines, throw me this, throw me that. We got it. We're going to load down. We're not going to be able to do much, but we'll do something. And so that has been, that's been fun to watch. And so we've had pauses, but hey, that's life. That's just the way it is. So I have a few things that I thought of each and every one of you, so we'll kind of go through that. And we'll see if this will work. First, Cascade Medical. I think I saw Whitney's name on here a few minutes ago. I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys. I think that you've often felt like you've been on an island by yourself because you're out there in Leavenworth. But we see you, we hear you. You guys done some great work, and we really appreciate it. I know it's been hard for you this last year to be at the table because you've been very busy. And you've been, Whitney, you've been pulled into actual care and away from the work, as many have. But I especially see that, but I still appreciate you and the work you've done. Next, I have Catholic Charities. You never give up. You have shown you have seen adversity through so much of this. You've had staff turnover, but your resiliency and you're continuing to move forward. Sometimes you're moving at a snail pace. Sometimes you're much faster, but you never gave up, and we always saw that, heard that from you, and I truly appreciate that. The Center for Alcohol and Drug Treatment. So I talk about organizations, but with the center, I must talk about Paul first. So it's funny that you said that earlier, because that's exactly what I thought. You are my comedic relief, Paul, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your emails. And where you started and where you've come in the growth in all of this has been tremendous, and I truly, truly appreciate you. As for the rest of the staff, including Paul, you guys have such big hearts, and you're wanting to do and you're wanting to improve, and you don't always how you're going to do it, but you know you're going to do it, and your heart shows. Your heart for your patients, the heart for your community, the heart for the rest of the collaborative. I see it, and I've appreciated that with you guys. Children's Home Society. I'm not sure if Ollie's on here, but Ollie and the rest of you have this we can do anything attitude with such joy. And I appreciate the big thinking of Nathan and Eileen having a recent conversation and their future plans. Like, you guys are rock stars, and I love that we can do anything attitude. Columbia Basin Family Medicine. I'm not sure if Christina's on this, but has often feel like they are hanging off a cliff. And we just realize that you just have to put your feet down and it's going to be okay. We're all in this together. We're holding each other up. We're holding each other on, and it will be okay. And so have appreciated the work you've done, Christina, and being able to just partner with you. Our relationship goes way before the WPCC. If you don't know, that's where my husband works. So I've known her since I think I started, whenever she started there. So for many years. And so I really appreciated the partnership and what she's been able to do there. Columbia Basin Health Association. Haley is a getter done. If you don't know Haley, she's quiet. She'll speak up if you ask her to. She doesn't volunteer a whole lot. But if you sit down and talk to her and all the things that they are doing, I'm flabbergasted. And every single month on her improvement report, how much progress she's made and what she's doing and the big thinking that she has there. So I appreciate that. Columbia Valley Community Health. The growth I've seen in your behavioral health department since I started, I think Blake was with Children's Home Society when I first started. And I believe it was a very small behavioral health department at Columbia Valley Community Health. And to see where you guys are at now is like mind-boggling how much you can grow that fast and still put out some really quality work and quality services. And so I truly appreciate you guys at the table, and it's been fun to see the growth of your department. Confluence, Stephen and Tessa are big thinkers, and I appreciate that about both of them. Tessa, funny story, when I first met you, I was, you guys won't believe this, but I was kind of shy and intimidated, and like, yeah, I'm not that shy, I'm not a shy person, but you intimidated me so much. Like, you have such a presence, but I quickly learned that you are amazing to work with, and you're so helpful, and you're willing to offer a hand, and you're always there. And yeah, totally right back at you. I appreciate you. And Stephen, your voice on population health manager, I could totally geek out with you. Like, seriously, I appreciate that thought process. I really, really enjoy it. And I appreciate your big thinking, both of you. Pass it on to Craig too. He was great to work with before he stepped off into other duties. Cooley Medical Center, you really showed me what team was, Shoshana. When I was looking at there's no I in team, they've come up with like now there's an I in there somewhere, but you have truly shown me what a team is, how you brought all your crew together. For those of you who don't know, whenever I would say, hey, Shoshana, I need to meet with you, her first response was like, does it just need to be me, or are we going to make decisions? Because if so, I'm going to bring my whole team in. Like, she just doesn't do it by herself. She recognizes that her decision affects everyone, and she wants everyone to have a voice. And that teamwork is inspiring. And that's why you guys have been able to move your metrics the way you have, is because you're all at the table. It's not, the burden's not on one person's shoulder. You're really a great team up at Cooley Medical. I'm emotional, like I'm starting to shake and I want to cry. So just bear with me on this, sorry. The family health centers, Ton, the work that you've done up there, and I'll first say with Melody. Melody was huge, and she came up with these grand plans, and you came again and you tuned it down, and then you guys took it back to the basic and looking at roles and responsibility. And it was slow at first, but we knew that something was happening because you really were building the foundation of what you guys are going to be working on. Your voice at the table is, I always like, well, if Todd's going to be there, it'll be okay because we'll have conversation. Because I know you'll I know you'll answer questions verbally. I know you'll ask questions, and great questions, and I really, really appreciate it. And you're shown that the slow and steady wins the race, which you're really working on and building that foundation at Family Health Centers. So it's going to be a really grand as you continue forward. Renew, grant integrated. And this goes for Mike Lopez too. As you know, he's gone on, I'm not sure if you knew, he went on for another position. So he's no longer at Renew, but we have Deb and Bill are still there, you may recall them, and Nicole has taken on his role, and they are collaborative. That is one thing when I think of them, when Dell came in and they were revamping and doing a lot of stuff, we took on a primary care behavioral health collaboration project. And so they're revamping a lot of stuff, but they were reaching out to other organizations to try to improve that collaboration between primary care and behavioral health. Their ED, follow-up ED work, and the collaboration that's taken for that. Their work up in Cooley Medical with SUD stuff. So I've really seen a lot of collaboration with you and your organization, and that's been really fun to see as well, because most of you are collaborative, but this is just something that I see on such a larger scale region outside the four walls, which is really cool. Mid-Valley, I really think of Diana on this, of think big, start small, learn fast. She learned fast. And Becky, that's because of your leadership there at Mid-Valley. Like when Tracy left, you were left fumbling and really left kind of like, what do I do? And Afton came in and really helped fill the gap. But Diana came and she learned fast and she took off, and she's built your quality improvement at the Mid-Valley, and it's really fun to see that. You guys have great things coming with her leading some of those efforts, and Becky, it's under your leadership that she's been able to do that. Thank you. Moses Lake Community Health. For those of you who don't know, Stephanie Dallin, Heather, and I used to work at Grant County Health District back in the good old days. So we've gone way back. I really appreciate the way they think outside the box. They truly think outside the box in some of the stuff that they do, and how they bring in their different staff members and things. Like sometimes I think they just throw spaghetti on the wall just to see what sticks. And so like really outside the box thinking. And I can't wait to continue working with you guys. And you're both on speed dial and text, and it'll just have to be that way. I hope you're okay with it. Okanagan Behavioral Health, I'm not sure if David's on the call. They've had it rough. They're hanging by a thread, but they're still hanging and they're still in it, and they're going to get through this tough patch that they're in. But I really appreciate all the work that Lisa has done leading up to this point. She's been the driver of most of the change up there. They've really improved their access and done some good work with SUD stuff up there as well. So appreciate their partnership. And Carol Bell and David right now are filling in that gap until they get their feet firmly on the ground. So appreciate their partnership. Samaritan Healthcare, Shania, you are always at the table. I can always count that you're going to be there, and you're going to take that information back to your team and share with your team in a very collaborative way. And I like that consistency in you. I know that we don't always see Samaritan team at these types of meetings, but I always know that information is getting back to the rest of the group there. MCOs, I've lumped you all together, although I could speak about each and every one of you. But I really appreciated your partnership. I know that MCO is a business, and I know you guys are competitive. And I know for me, I feel like sometimes I'm pulling teeth because I want something, but we can't give it because there's all this proprietary stuff and this stuff that I don't necessarily understand, but I try to. But at the root of it, for each and every one of you, I think Courtney Ward, I think Donnie, I think Jackie, I think Simone, Connie, Kat, like all of these. I'm sorry if you're on the call and I didn't say your name. I'm trying to do it off of memory, and I am emotional. But I truly appreciate your passion. You really do want to help, and you really do want to connect, and I see that. And I understand sometimes you have to work within the limitations of your own organizations, and I think everyone on this call can recognize and appreciate you always have to work within the limitations of your own organization, but your heart is there. And I see that, and I hope that as we continue to move forward, we'll continue to build our relationship and our partnership, and we'll be able to do something really collaborative with the MCOs and the clinical partners and our community partners all together. CSI team, they are my cheerleaders. If you don't see, someone made an appearance. Tilly, Roger, I'm sorry, I only had 4 faces, so Tilly went out. I appreciate you guys. You have been my biggest cheerleaders along the way. They help. If you don't know, we meet every other week, just about every other week, and go through the plans of what's going on. And I appreciate their feedback, their guidance, their support. When I'm frustrated, they're there to lift me up and cheer me on, and I couldn't have done it without them. They are also flexible. I have not forgotten Gumby. That is their, what do you call them? Help me out, folks. Mascot. Gumby is their mascot. They are flexible, and they've had to be, I think, in their own work in all their other projects, but definitely with us as well. And I really appreciated my time with you guys, and really helping. I am missing Action Health Partners. I had it, and I'm sorry you were on there, Deb, but it didn't save you, and I'm sorry. But Action Health Partners, I appreciate you being the lone wolf at our table. I'm going to put that on there, and I'll send this out later so you'll see it. As a community-based organization, you were that lone wolf at this clinical table, and didn't always feel like you fit, or that you were involved, or you were just kind of the side note at the table. But I really appreciate you continuing to hammer in the need for community-based organizations to be at the table, and the need for healthcare, physical and behavioral health, to collaborate with community-based organizations, because it's true. It's the way we're going with social determinants of health, and we all really need to work together. We need to look what's out there in our communities that are not just clinical, but how are these others? How are we working with them? Because you guys can't solve transportation. I get it, but that's why there's transportation organizations out there. And you can't solve food insecurity, but that's why there's food people out there. They're food people. Is that the right word? You know what I mean? But they're there to help your patients in those areas, and because you guys can't do it all yourselves, but as you partner together, you'll build those relationships and that collaboration. And that's really going to be the benefit of your patient as we listen and we look towards that whole person health. So with that, it's 12:05. I'm going to give you 45 minutes back, 40 minutes in your name. So I would say goodbye for now. I love you all. I really do. Like, this was hard for me to say goodbye on our last meeting. You've made the ride worth it. And I just appreciate each and every one of you. And I look forward to our continued work. This is like not really goodbye, because we're going to work in different ways. I will still be connected. And if I don't hear from you, I'll pick up a call and phone and call, or shoot you an email, just to make sure you're out there and you're doing okay. We are always here to help you if you need anything or you need support. You guys know my email, which I didn't put in there, but if you didn't know, we all changed emails at the ACH. It's our first name, like Wendy, at ncach.org, except for Linda. Linda maintained her old email address at linda.perlett@chd.law.gov. But all the rest of us, so John at NCACH, Caroline at NCACH, Mariah at NCACH. So you don't have to remember to spell my last name, although I'm sure you're all experts at it by now. But that's all I have. I can open it up if you guys want to say anything. If not, we'll call it a great Monday, and thank you once again. Bye all.
Thank you.
Thank you.